Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is FPL Roxas, and today I'll be sharing my Gameweek 28 team selection. Apologies for not being able to upload for Gameweek 27, as I was busy with other IRL stuff. I'm back for the double now, and in this video I'll be showing you guys how I performed during the last week while I was absent, as well as my transfer plans and the team selection for Gameweek 28. As usual, feel free to like and subscribe if you found the video enjoyable. Alright, let's start the team selection video. I'll now be doing a very brief recap on my performance for last week when I was unable to upload. So for Gameweek 26, I had one free transfer and I decided that it was the right time to make an extra transfer, so a -4, to bring in both Paul Torres and Saka. And all of the movements in the team resulted in a total of 48 points, a small red arrow from 1.1 to 1.2 million. And for Gameweek 27, I decided to just back my transfer as I felt like there wasn't any notable players that could improve my team at that time. One thing I did this week was bench the injured Solanke, feeling that even if he were to start or play, I wouldn't think that he'd be able to play at 100%. Quite a high scoring week this one, which resulted in me getting 77 points and a small green arrow from 1.2 to 1.1 million, basically going back to where I started 2 weeks ago. Well, no worries, we now move over to the more difficult phase of the season with the doubles and blanks coming up. Looking at the team right now, I currently have just 4 players for blank Game29. My current objective for the next few weeks is to avoid using my free hit for 29, and instead, I'll be focusing my transfers to deploy as many players as possible for Game29. Even with 7 to 9 players for that week, I think it would be fine as I'll be able to save my free hit for double game week in the future, most likely being Gameweek 34. Alright, since we know my general plan, I'll be focusing my transfers on players that have a fixture for Gameweek 29 and also has good fixtures for this week as well. There is one team in particular that doubles for 28 and has a fixture in 29 as well. That is Luton Town. Hence why the majority of my transfer targets are Luton players. And these 3 players are the ones that have piqued my interest. First up is Bowen. He's finally back in form, having returned 25 points in the last 2 game weeks. He gets to face Burnley for this week and Villa for the next. I think that he has quite a high upside for the Burnley game, knowing how weak Burnley is defensively. I'd also be able to remove De Bruyne from my team, who hasn't been returning and has tougher fixtures against Liverpool and Arsenal in Game 28 and 30. So Bowen is my favorite transfer option at the moment. Next up is Alfie Doughty. He's a 4.7 million defender that has a decent double against Palace and Bournemouth this week, and has a fixture for 29 against Forest, and also he's on set pieces. Even if Luton concedes, I believe that he's able to provide attacking returns instead. By bringing him in, I'll also be able to get rid of Lascelles at last. He's been in my bench for so long and I can't wait to remove him from my team. And the last transfer target for this week is Carlton Morris. He has surprisingly been in really good form in 2024, with 5 goals and 2 assists in the last 7 games, all of them this year. I think he could be a great option for the double, and Forest at home for Game29 is also a fixture where I think he should be able to return from. One setback that I have to deal with is that if I bring Morris in, I'll have to transfer out Holland. With a lot of money tied up in Holland, it will be a lot more expensive to bring him back in the future. So if I do go with this transfer, I think it's going to be very difficult to bring him back. And this is how the team should look like for Game28 with the transfers I'm projected to make. I'm most likely going to get both Bowen and Doughty for De Bruyne and Lascelles. Then we'll finalize my number of doublers for this week at just 2. I feel like it's good enough to have Solanke as the only Bournemouth doubler. While for Luton, I could probably get one more in Morse, but that would mean a -4. Anyways, moving over to my team selection for this week. In goal, I have Leno against Wolves away. It was nice to finally have gotten a clean sheet from him last week. This time, Wolves away from home wouldn't be an easy game to keep a clean sheet, so I wouldn't mind just getting save points from him. For my defense, I've got Paul Torres against Spurs at home. To be honest, I haven't really decided on who to start between him and Estupinan, so I'll see what deadline. But yeah, I currently have Paul starting. Saliba has Brentford at home. I don't think there's going to be a clean sheet for this game, as Raya doesn't get to play for his parent club, Brentford. Ramsdale hasn't started a Premier League game in a while, so I wouldn't really rely on Arsenal to get a clean sheet for this week. Doughty has away games against Palace and Bournemouth. If I were to bring him in, it's not for the clean sheets, but for his attacking returns. Since he's on set pieces, the chances of getting an assist is quite high. I know Luton are quite bad away from home, but I think Doughty could get me a return in one of the games. For my midfield, I've got Foden against Liverpool away, tough fixture, and away as well. This game could end up low scoring or high scoring. I for sure am hoping for a high scoring game where he can get in the score sheet. Palmer has Newcastle at home. I think he should be able to return against Newcastle with the amount of goals they have been leaking in recent games. Saka has Brentford at home. He's a man in form, and it doesn't look like he's going to stop returning. He's got 7 goals and 2 assists in the last 6 games. He's captain material for this week, for sure. And we've got Bowen against Burnley at home. He's also another player getting into form. Burnley will be way easier than his previous opponents, where he got a hat trick and an assist. So I'm anticipating a haul from him against Burnley this week, hopefully. For my forwards, I've got Haaland against Liverpool away. He hasn't played at his best in recent games, but even then, he's still returning. I guess it just shows how high the standards are that we put on him. Liverpool will be a difficult one for him, so I won't be having Haaland as a captaincy option for this week. Watkins has Spurs at home. I'm pretty sure he's going to return, as both teams play quite a high line and will be prone to counterattacks, where Watkins thrives. He currently has 16 goals and 15 assists in FPL, which is crazy. I'd be surprised if he blanks this week. And lastly, we have Solanke with home games against Sheffield and Luton, the 2 weakest defenses in the league and probably the best double you could get. He's my number 1 captaincy option for this week. Oh, I've got 2 notable players in the bench at the moment. Gordon is benched as he faces Chelsea away. He doesn't really return as much in away games, so he's sitting in the bench for now. While Estupinian, he's a player I'm looking to get rid of, but haven't really had the chance to. Every week, I have to worry about whether he starts or not. And even when he starts, gets a yellow or an early substitution, I can't wait to transfer him out in the future. My favorite captaincy option for this week are Solanke, Saka, Bowen, Watkins, and Doughty in that particular order. As I said in the previous section, my plan is to not use my free hit for Game 29. I'm going to have to focus my transfers to specifically bring in players that have fixtures in Game 29, so that I'll have at least 7 to 8 or maybe 9 players for that week with a hit. Bringing in Doughty and Bowen is a part of that plan. I could also try to chase the double game week upside by bringing in another Luton player in Morris, but that would mean having Haaland down. For that reason, I'm a bit skeptical about it, but it could work. Also note that West Ham, Liverpool, Brighton, Villa, and Man City have European Cup games midweek. So if you guys have any players from those teams, make sure to monitor the games for info on minutes played and potential injuries as well. And that wraps up this week's team selection video. Good luck to everyone for Game 28. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to be updated on my latest uploads. I'll be uploading every week, so stay tuned. Leave a comment if you'd like, and thanks for watching the video.